that, and boom, we should have audio. There you go. Hopefully you can hear us. So yeah, we've got a little bit of a change up today, so hopefully you're liking the new decor. This is all just for your own personal entertainment, and of course we've got the burning skulls in the background because Corn has been kind and generously granted us with some burning skulls, so if we see anything catch on fire, it's not real. Right, Will, can you hear us? Let us know. Yeah, we're there. So a couple of things we're going to go through today. So we're going to talk about the next Twisted Dice tournaments that's going to be coming up. We're going to talk a little bit about Tau. By the way, we recorded our first battle report last night, and it was, well, that's a lie. I've recorded 2 battle reports these last couple of days. The first one, I had Mikey down in the studio, and we was recording till about 3 o'clock in the morning, and it was an absolute killer. Because it was just like so rusty with the whole rules and etc. And it's just getting used to getting back into 9th edition. It's, by the way, 9th so far is like friggin' cool. But unfortunately, with the new camera that I've got, it captured so we recorded it in 4K. But the problem is with the 4K is it's just an absolute nightmare to edit, and my Mac just can't handle it. So at the moment, we're struggling on that side. I'm going to choose one thing. I need to change one little element. And let's take that. And let's do that. And then hopefully we've got a nice key light coming in. And of course, big news, even better. Tomorrow, of course, gyms open up. The hairdressers open up. So I get to cut some of this mullet off and get it out of my bloody damn eyes. And little Maria's here. Welcome. Picture's good for me. Thank you very much. What else are we going to go through? So, yeah. And, of course, I want to talk about the next battle report I've recorded. I desperately need your lot's feedback on it and what you think of the battle report. Of course, it's not ready yet. I'm going to be editing up over the next couple of days, and hopefully it's going to be dropping Friday. I'm not going to tell you the outcome. All I will say, it's 2 hard-hitting lists going head-to-head, and it is a friggin' epic battle report. And I mean, it's like an epic battle report. We've got all the cinematics going on, so I'm really sorry, but I was kind of hoping that I'd have some pictures I could ping up on the screen so I could show you some of the snapshots that we've taken off on the day. There's some real cinematic feel type pictures going on, with the camera angles, with the smoke, the fire. Yeah, look, we've just gone like to town on the battle report side. We just want to make sure that it's the best we can possibly do. So I'm really hoping and praying that you guys and girls enjoy it. But look, we'll find out Friday, right? That's when we're going to find out. James, thank you for joining us, sir. And who else we got in here? So we got J57, thank you very much, and David as well, and of course the Red Terror. Now for the first battle report, we was thinking about maybe doing John's Tyranids versus Orcs, but we have done that quite a lot on the channel. So I thought it'd be really cool to get something in that we don't normally play on the channel, and of course that is Tau. And Will, you will be more than happy to know that the Tau list that John has taken in this one, he's gone for 3 of the Shark Bombers. I can't remember off the top of my head. Where's my phone? I don't even have it with me. But he's got a couple of the flyers in there. He's got Riptide. He's got the lass with all the missiles that can just jump across off the thing. So that's a really good strong list straight away from the bounce. As for myself, I'm going to be going with what I have taken, of course, Ghazghkull Fracker. Ghazghkull Fracker is the man. He is really, at the moment, I love him. Point wise, he's bloody expensive for what he does, and he is kind of a bit of a glassish hammer in a way, in the fact that you deploy him wrong, he is either going to do nothing the whole game, or he's just going to die by the time you get to, I suppose it depends on what you face. Some games he's probably dead by turn 2, depending on how you deploy him. But with Gazgul, I always like to deep strike him. Reason being is purely the fact that you don't want him shot before he gets to the other side of the board. That's like that's important that we make sure that happens. And then what else we got in there? So yeah, so we've got that. I've got the War Boss with the old claw, the Claw of Doom. Oh mate, the claw. I can't ruin it. I can't ruin it, but it's good. It's a really, really good report. Of course, I've got the Weird Boy for the jump. You know, I love the jump. I think it's such a cool psychic spell. And if, of course, the way the missions play, and you go in table quarters, or you're going to go like line, you know, get behind the enemy lines, the jump is like crucial, and it's really important to take it. But of course, we've got those two things there, and I've got my looters. I've got my damn looters in there. And of course, looters are really, really strong still. So much hate on that. Like when I've done the tactical video on looters, you wouldn't believe the amount of hate I got on that. It was just absolutely freaking bonkers. Nope, you're stupid. Nope, you're wrong. And I can just imagine some dude living in his basement just wagging his finger around like, who's this guy talking to me, telling me that looters are good, they're just too expensive, they're so 7th edition. Nope, they rock in this edition too. And then what else we got? Yeah, and then of course I got Smasher Guns. So it's a really good lineup. Tau is probably one of my scariest lists that I can face with Orcs. I'm gonna lie that, you know, the amount of firepower Tau can push down on you, it is a scary, scary lineup. But listen, it's a good game, it's a fun game, and that's where we're gonna start. But I just say the feedback I need from yourselves is last year I brought some extra cameras to put in different positions, and it never quite worked. So as I was editing back, I kind of didn't like the positions of them, or etc. So this report, I've rejigged the cameras around, and I put them into the side, so capturing the side element. When I go into editing side of it, hopefully they will play a part in it. If it doesn't, then it's nothing ventured, nothing gained. But if it does work, it'd be interesting to see what you lot think on how that report works. And of course, if there's bits in there you would like to see us add into the reports as well, that'd be really cool. So what we got going on in chat? I want to build an orc shooter list, focus on putting out all the DACA. Listen, the list that I've got, the amount of DACA that was being fired yesterday, it was like boom. It really is like mental. And of course, Rob, hey buddy, thanks for joining us. And then we've got David. I'm looking forward to watch it on Friday now, pal. You will. I hope you're going to really love it. Daniel, thank you so much for liking the stream. You're an absolute legend, sir. Thank you. Do you know what? I did look upon the mega knobs in trucks before, but the problem is the amount of points you spend on it and the time you got up the board. I just found that all you need is just one unlucky round to shoot, and then you just got those guys just sat in the middle of the field doing absolutely nothing. And it's kind of a lot of points you're going to be investing into it. But for Funfire side, it's cool. Oh, the other thing I wanted to talk about was we're looking upon doing a narrative tournament at some point. So I say tournament, but it's not a tournament as in like for your real competitive side. So, you know, I'd be interested in seeing what other people's thoughts upon that, whether that'd be something that'd be an interest to yourself. Like that's something that we're going to look to do, or hopefully October time. And it's just really at the moment putting things into place and how we want that to play out, if that makes sense. Crusade would be cool. It would be cool. Welcome, Ace. And of course, Underdog Painting. Thank you very much for joining us. Yeah, so it'd be interesting to see what other people think about that. So me and Andy have been talking, and we've got an idea on how we want that event to work. But before we start going in there, I'd really like to know if there's any interest in it, if anyone's interested in that type of tournament, and if it is something that people are after. Look, we'll put it together and we'll make it happen. Because like I love the narrative side, I love the campaign stuff, and if we can get something to work over 2 days on the campaign, boom. But how we were thinking about doing it was maybe 500 points, and then by the end of Sunday, you've got a 2,000 point army going head to head. And then maybe what we do is like the winner wise, we look upon who's done the most games. I don't know, but of course we've got to try keep it fun as best we possibly can as well. And that's the big thing with narrative stuff. So what we've got in there, Fitz just started collecting Orcs, so many of my collection include 2 start collecting box sets, Gork and Orc, which you recommend in adding for my shooty list. So for me, Fitz, for shooting, look, looters for me absolutely damn rock, because of the amount of, for me, looters are really good because of the fact that a lot of, they're only, don't get me wrong, they're only strength 7, -1, 2 damage. So if you're looking to kill a squad of Marines, yeah, okay, it seems a bit expensive just to kill a squad of Primaris Marines, but they can sort them out. But the idea with the looters, it's more about taking about upon your vehicles, planes, stuff like that. And the reason why the looters are really good is the fact that you do the 2 Daka, you spend a 2 CP for the more Daka, and then all of a sudden, if you are playing an army that has got planes, it doesn't matter about those minuses, because you're always going to be hitting them on 5s and 6s, and of course those 5s and 6s are going to generate more hits. But of course, if you want the full Daka, then you're looking really to do Bad Moons, and you're really going to benefit the best you possibly can out of the looters. And of course, smasher guns for days. The smasher guns don't get the clan cultures, but what they do is the fact that you're not worrying about toughness. You're not worrying about so much, if you've got something that's got these horrible rules where you can only wound them on like 4, 5s and 6s. With these, you're just going by the toughness. So you'll find that with, like, especially the Dark Angels, where they've got that new Terminate squad or transhuman physiology, you're just ignoring that, and you're like, yeah, it doesn't matter to me. Like 2 dice, and most 99% of the time, you're just going to be like taking units off, and that's cool. D6 damage, and of course, you've got that ability to do the -4. You're going to pop things. You really are going to pop things. Welcome, Matthew. Really cool. So look, that's Friday's lineup. So stay tuned on that. Listen, if you're looking for a shooty army, have a look upon this battle report on Friday, because you might find that being really, really interesting to yourself, because it works. It really does work. It's really cool. But again, if you like Tau, it's definitely worth checking out what John's taken in this Tau list, because he's got some really cool units, and he plays it really, really smart and very cleverly. But you'd expect that from Ace anyway. He is a good player, full stop. So, of course, right. So before we forget, this Friday coming up, we're going to be launching, we're going to be doing the tickets for the Twisted Dice tournaments for September and November. So if you are keen in coming to one of those events, make sure you stay tuned. Keep an eye upon our Facebook page and our website. The website is where you're going to be able to purchase the tickets, and that'll just be going through our website using PayPal. But they will be going live on Friday morning for about 8 o'clock. So yeah, it's definitely well worth sticking it out and just keeping an eye on it. Fitz, dude, thank you very much for that. That is absolutely generous. Thank you, really appreciate that, my friend. Smasher guns, Smasher guns are bubble chucker guns. I've not really been a fan of them. Every time I've used them so far, they haven't been on fire, if that makes sense, and they've not really worked out. So me personally, I stay away from the bubble guns. They're good for a little bit of a giggle and a laugh, and how Orc players really play. It's about having that little bit of muck around. But if you're going to play tournament wise or go for that little bit competitive, forget it, man. They're just not worth the hassle. You'll be banging your head against the screen, like flinging your dice at the garden or something. You don't want that, trust me. What else have we got in there? I have been playing with Evil Sons, Ravenwing. Look, do you know what? Before 9th edition, 8th edition, I would go with the 2 formation. I would go with 2, maybe 3 clan cultures. Evil Sons, purely to get across the board. I do miss not having that +1 to charge. That is so strong. And of course, they are so much better getting up the board, getting into combat. They really do have some benefits, just on their own on that. So deep striking in, doing the jump, and being able to have that +1 to charge, that is massive. That is like so massive, and it's a good little thing to have. So yeah, I do miss it. Going Death Skulls, I get to reroll 1 dice for a hit and 1 dice for a wound and 1 dice for damage. That's not bad. But what I do love about the Death Skulls is the fact that you've got all infantry objectives secured, which is massive. B, that you've got that 6-up invulnerable save. So it gives you, because Orcs have only got, you know, a 6-up save anyway. So anything with any AP to it, then you're going to be losing guys anyway. And I know, listen, I know that people are going to be going like, oh well, it's only 6-up invulnerable save, nothing really special. Yeah, look, you're right. You know, 6-up is like a kick in the teeth, really. But it's, how I see it is like you've now got a chance to save some Orc boys. And of course, look, if you put a pain boy in there or something, you know, you've already, all of a sudden you're up in your odds of going 6-up, and that's really important for the Orcs, and I like that. I do like that. So what else have we got? 6 war bikers. Do you know what? I like war bikers. For me, Orc bikers about getting across the tabletop. It's just massive. Like in this game, it's all about objectives, right? You know, making sure you're taking your primaries, taking your secondaries, and those war bikers have got such. They have so much play upon 40k in 9th edition that it's just crazy. The fact that you can be a real pain in the bottom for someone, get up on someone's grill, like really, you know, cause them some issues, get up, take objectives, get behind enemy lines. You know, they really do rock, and I love them. They are such a cool unit. And Ace is probably watching this now going, no, they're not, they're rubbish. But they're not. They're really not. They are really, really cool. So I've got some more. I'm so prepared today. It is so unreal, and like how many things I've actually forgot to actually bring on things. So sorry, do excuse me for a second. I've got a shoebox the other day that I found, and I've got so many Orcs in there that I've brought. They're already pre undercoat. I've just got to paint them, and I forgot I had them. So I've got a load of war bikers in there. I've also got some. What are they called? The Grot Dreadnoughts. Oh, wow. Killer cans. So I've got loads of killer cans in, a couple more killer cans in there. So I'd like to have a little game where trying to make them a little bit more competitive. The only thing is with when you go Grots, of course, you miss the clan cultures. And that kind of really does suck a little bit for Orcs. Because, of course, clan cultures is what makes, really makes the army. What else we got in there? Free shook jump. Yeah, look, the dragsters are really, really cool. I agree 100% with them. And then what else you got in there? War boss on the war bikes to support the bikes. Yep. 2 lots of shooter boys. And trucks with 2 storm boys. Yeah, look, I'll go with you on that. So this is the thing. So the shooter boys are really cool. So I like to have 1 squad of shooter boys and 1 squad of close combat boys. The shooter boys are there just to purely take out that small unit if need be, but the close combat boys for me is where they're really at, because like Orcs are best for getting into combat and then just for the weight of Daka in close combat. So just swinging those axes, and if you do manage to get the full squad of 20 plus in there, of course you're getting that extra attack. So that's like 4 attacks a piece. That's massive for Orcs, and many a times I fought aces like big nids and and just taking down a big bug by just sheer weight and numbers. And sometimes you have to do it. And of course, my Orcs, I'm really bad at the moment because of the fact that I'm still got the original bases they originally come on. So I need to change up my Orc boys, and I need to put them on the bigger bases. Now, I have brought all the bases for them. It's just getting around to doing it, and I've just I can't stress enough. Like this week, it's just been so friggin' busy with real work, and then when I'm not been working, coming down into the studio and just like painting walls, straightening out like cracks, ceilings, redoing all my electrics in the studio as well. So I don't know if you can see, but I've got 2 little green spotlights coming down to the side, and I've got another one on the floor. It's now battle report season. It's not time to muck around in the studio. It's about getting these battle reports up. And of course, what we do want to do as well is do a lot more tactical videos. Now I've obviously got we're in a good place on what we can do. Hopefully, I'm going to do some. So if you do like the Orky stuff, I'm going to go through some of the more tactical side on it and how I do things. But I'm also going to do some more painting videos as well, because really, that's what I love doing, is painting. So what we got? So Fitz is currently running a Plagueburg Crusade with my Orcs fighting a bunch of Death Guard. Ooh, dude, if you get some pictures of this, by the way, you know, pop them up on our Facebook group, because that'd be interesting to see how you're going. And of course, what we love to see is like, do you know when you have a game and you like have like the most epic, like something crazy, like, I don't know, you got like 10 grots go in or something, and 10 grots manage to take out like 2 Primaris Marines. Yeah, it's unreal, but it could happen. But how epic would those grots be? You know, the fact they've just slit 2 Primaris Marines' throats and put them on the ground. It's just like, yeah, I like that. So yeah, take some pictures, dude, and post it up in our group, because I'd love to see that stuff. And now, obviously, we're coming out of the back of lockdown. I'm hoping and I'm praying that on the Monday night on our gaming club, when that starts up, I'm going to see if I can get a crusade going down at the club, because I think I would like to do some more of that the crusade stuff, and like start really building that fun element into it. But I think as soon as we get in there, people are just going to be wanting to get straight back into it. The Red Mech, sorry, dude, I completely missed you in that, and David McDonald as well. Thank you. Yeah. Oh Christ. Do you know what, David? I completely bypassed that. Yeah. So the tournament that we've got a massive, great 120 man event coming up in January, and we've partnered up with Greetings from the Warp. The Greetings boys are absolutely friggin' legends. If you haven't been to any of the events, you know, Andy and the boys, they run a really good show. And me and Nace have teamed up with the Greetings of the Warp. So Twisted Warp. Believe it or not, I couldn't believe it myself that in one day we managed to sell 120 tickets. So, like, we're super happy and like so chuffed that you guys and girls want to come to our event. So, you know, thank you very much for that. I promise you, we're going to make that event absolutely friggin' awesome. We're going to make sure we've got some nice boards, nice train. I'm going to make sure those 2 days are going to be the best 2 days that you're going to have. So we're really going to make that as fun as we possibly can, of course, but keeping it towards the competitive side, because at the end of the day it is a tournament, and you know, people want to go there and see if they can win and take home that ultimate trophy for that 2-day event. It's going to be fun. It's going to be super excited. Wouldn't it be cool if we could get someone from Games Workshop, if they were watching this live stream, and they would turn around and say, do you know what, we'd like to help you out and send over to, you know, a couple of our awesome trophies, because that would be absolutely friggin' mental. And I just realised something with that camera, and hoping. So this camera at the moment is not recording, and I'm just praying and hoping. Robert, Stephen, thank you so much for liking the stream, my friend. Appreciate that. I'm just praying it doesn't go into energy saver mode. So far so good. If it does, it might just drop off for a second. I just need to go up and just tap it. And actually, do you know what? I've actually got the control, so let's hit record. For you it means nothing, for me it just means it stops that camera doing something that it shouldn't do. There's like loads of little cool features that I can do on this camera, but we're not going to muck around with it now, because at the moment it's all working fine, right? And if it's not broken, don't fix it. Matthew, thank you so much, my friend, for liking it. So what else have we got going on in chat? So Nathan has put the speed of the bikers list is blistering. If you get turn 1, completely dedicating how the game plays. Yeah, look, 100%. Oh, the pale look, my friend. Thank you very much. By the way, if you haven't already, go check him out, because he's got an awesome channel. And let's help each other out as best we possibly can. But look, yeah, Orcs on bikes, you can definitely change the way game plays by turn 1, if you get turn 1, of course, and you're not completely going up against a cheese list that's actually going to blow you off the table. But look, if they're firing at your bikes, they're not firing at the other stuff that's going to be charging at the board, going to cause them absolute devastation. And that's the thing I love about Orcs. It was quite funny, because I was listening to a podcast a couple of weeks ago, and this person was saying that Orcs was hard mode, and I was kind of like, nah, I'm going to disagree with you on that. I don't think Orcs are hard mode at all. If anything, I actually find Orcs to be not easy, because that's unfair, but I find Orcs, if you play Orcs the way that Orcs should be playing, that's just like, don't give a monkeys on the outcome, like, and you just think like stupid thoughts, like, yeah, there's a big thing over there, let's charge it. You're going to win. That's my mindset anyway. I could be wrong. There's going to be a lot of hate now. Like, no, that's not it. But of course, it's about being a smart orc as well, and playing those orcs to your best abilities. Hopefully I can christen my 1,000 Suns army this year. Dude, do you know what? I haven't had my Thousand Suns army out for, it's got to be a year now. So I'm itching to get my Thousand Suns out. And what I need to do is I need to build up some more units and actually start getting them onto the tabletop. I've got like, do you know those 64 litres? Oh no, it's actually the 84 litres of the really useful boxes, and they're absolutely massive. I've got probably the best part of 4 of those full of grey plastic off sprues. So I've got a lot of hobby shame that needs to go for start building up and get to think. But I've got a couple of demon princes that need to be builded. I've got a load of more Thousand Suns units, so I should really get my finger out and start actually building and painting those up. What else we got going on? I've got my ticket for the tournament. Awesome, David. Listen, you're going to love it. I really promise you, you're going to love it. Of course, we've got our first one coming up in July, 9th and 10th. So that one has sold out. That just sold out in like 2 hours. But I think it's more the fact that people are just itching to get onto the tabletop and actually start flinging some dice. Because like it was fun last night. Like it didn't matter what the outcome was, how that game was going to go last night. We had a chance to just move some characters, play some games, talk to each other, and fling some dice, and that was absolutely cool. Loved it. We are streaming on both, my friends. So I've got on YouTube, Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook at the same time. I'm really sorry, but I've just got like it's a killer today. By the way, this is absolutely friggin' freezing in here, so I'm like 4 layers up just to keep myself warm. It's absolutely crazy. Can't wait to test my list. And do you know what? It was interesting because obviously I've been thinking about a different list on what I wanted to take for my orcs going forward, and I really wanted to make Gazgol Thraka competitive, or try to make him in a list that I would probably take to a tournament. And I did go down the Goth route at first, and I found that the Goths were, they're great in combat, but I always found that is getting them up the board to get into combat was an issue. And it was just something about them, really. I just thought that I wanted that survivability more than anything else, and the objective secure was this edition. I think that's really, really important, and that's what it's all about, right? So what else we got going on? Yeah. Oh, Jay, you got a ticket for July, have you? It's going to be good. We've got the new venue. I've just been going through all the mats that we've got here already. I'm just hoping when we get down, when the gaming club opens back up in May, all the terrain, all the mats is still there. That's the only. It should be. I don't think there'll be any problems on that at all. But there's so much cool terrain there. I can't wait to go down there, swap some of the terrain that I've got here to there, so I can start putting the terrain that I've got in the club onto the tabletop. Because we've just designed the whole. So I've just revamped the whole studio in the backside. So as I say, I've got some cool lights dropping down. I think you probably might have seen it from the last stream with the table, and I've completely just it looks good. It looks good, and I'm just hoping that the way this battle report comes out, it's just going to be like pucker. I'm hoping so. Anyway, that's the plan. That is the plan. So, what other events is everyone else going to? So, at the moment for myself, I haven't actually booked in any event, not to go to any events at the moment. But I need to see what events are going to be coming up and start booking myself into some. Again, what I want to do is I want to try out this orc list, and I want to get this orc list on the tabletop. And maybe this year might be a bit of a write-off getting towards the ITC points. No, do you know what? I don't think it is actually, to be fair, because we start doing the tournament scene July. So if tournaments are going there, so it gives me a good 6-7 months worth of games to get in there. Now I know everywhere else a lot of people are already doing tournaments, so people are already starting to stack in those ITC points. But either this year or next year, I want to try go for best orc player if I possibly can, and like really try and do some like awesome like orc lists. Now my only biggest fear upon the orcs at the moment is we haven't had the new codex dropped yet for 9th edition, And I'm praying, and like, I mean, I'm absolutely praying and hoping that Games Workshop don't come along and just give you the absolute nerf bat and just like dumb down some of the orc stuff. And I'm just hoping and praying that they do appreciate that orcs are not as strong at the moment, and that, you know, they give us some. I'd like to see some new units. I tell you what, I really would love is a fast vehicle with a good deployment mechanism to drop off some orc boys. How cool would it be to have a jumbo jet plane stacked with, like, I don't know, let's say 20 boys. 30 boys would probably be a bit extreme, but it could be done right, because like orcs don't care. They don't care if they live or die, so they'll just be clinging onto the planes like, "Argh," and then just drop them into combat. And I just think that would be absolutely friggin' mental. But of course, you've got to give them some cool rule, like, you know, crash and burn. You know, these planes, when they drop their orc boys off, they don't like, they just crash the plane like straight down. By the way, this is not a real thing. This is just me going off on a wild tantrum. I could just imagine someone now looking up on the internet, new planes for the orcs that crash land. Oh yeah. No, that's just orc technology. They love to crash land. Do you know what, Matthew? That would be, if you can go for that, that would be absolutely cool. I don't know how many. I bet there are a few Imperial Fist players out there. Northwest Team Tournament, Twisted July, and Leicester GT. Has the Leicester GT tickets gone up for sale for that yet? Because I think I'd have to get myself put in for that, because that's going to be it. And what's that? That's a 300-man event as well for that one. My screen has frozen. That's not great. Yeah, you missed out on July, Dave. I think you were working as well, weren't you? Of course, yeah, we've got London GT coming up in September. Not going to be able to make that one. I've got September for us is just like absolute chock-a-block. We've got our tournament coming up, which should be a 40-man event for that one. So I've got a lot of prep, a lot of planning to get ready for that one, because I want to make sure that I know we've got 30 tables to a nice standard already, but I want to make sure that we've got 110%, you know, 20 tables to a very good standard. I want to make sure 100% that, you know, when people walk into those events, they're like, yeah, this is what we call a tournament. This is how I'd like to play. You know, nice terrain, nice set of terrain as well. Because there has been some pictures of people posting up at their events, and the terrain has just been like so scarce. And it worries me that going to someone else's tournament, turning up, and it just be, I don't know, a couple of wire fences just like blocking line, not even blocking line of sight, and that scares the hell out of me. Because an orc player would just be like, yeah, not going to work. Chain orcs. Chinox. Yeah, sorry. Bit slow there, yeah. So that would be a really good plane, actually. Let's see what they can come up with, because see, orcs at the moment. Orcs have got in their codex. They've got so many different options they can take in the Orcs Codex. It's quite crazy, because you've got, like, troop-wise, they don't. Troops, they've only really got Orc Boys and Grots. And to be fair, do you really need anything else for that? Nah, probably not. Because your Orc Boys can either be shooters or close combat, so that doesn't matter. And, of course, Grots, what I'd love to see with the Orc Codex is the points for the Grots. I would like to see them drop back down, because at the moment they are quite expensive for what they do. But for me, I always still take 10 or 11 in my army. Because it's just a cheap alternative than Orc Boys. But, of course, because I take looters, they will babysit the looters and make sure that the looters get that. It's basically like 10 extra wounds for the looters. And that's really, really important to keep those looters alive as best you possibly can. They went on sale Friday, so just gone on. Squigs. Ooh, that's a good question. I don't have my phone. Squids would be actually fun to take. Where is my phone? It's here. Do you know what? It's like here somewhere. And it's just taunting me that it's like right under my nose. And I just can't see the damn thing. I don't. Do you know what? I haven't used squids, and I thought squigs come under as elite, but I could be wrong on that. Best sort of figures at the moment is cannon wagons, sheep's up, dragsters, and the scrapjets I love. The amount of DAC that they can push out, and how fast they can get up to tabletop. Love them. The dragsters are probably, for me, one of the best vehicles in there. Purely the fact that you can jump them across the thing. Here we go. There's my phone. We've got it. Okay. Let's have a look. Of course, going by the Gameswork official app. Let's go Battleforge, and I think. So if we go troops. Yeah, no, going by the Games Workshop app itself, so troop-wise, the only things that you can put in there would be Gretchen and boys. And I think squigs... in fact, squids are not even... That's interesting, because I've never actually thought about taking squigs in my list, and they don't appear to have them on there at all. And you would have thought that they would have taken some of the Forge World stuff in there. They must have. Yeah, because they've got the cannon wagon on there, which is Forge World. Squig off is Forge World. Squig's not even mentioned. That's interesting. That is very, very interesting. Yeah, that's interesting. Because you would have thought that would have been the case, right? That they would have had... let's go in there and see what we can do. So layout, so you can't really change those. And yeah, look, that's interesting, because I haven't actually had a go with squigs yet. Oh, sorry, dude. You completely thrown me off there. I do apologise. Yeah, listen. Squigs would be... How cool would that be, right? So you had an army of as troops, like you had an army of squigs just rushing up the board. Because squigs are quite a cool little unit on their own. Like, the design upon them is just like a big, round, like... It's kind of like the ghost out of, like, Super Mario Brothers with legs with teeth. That's how I can, that's how I envision them. Of course, with a bit of colour and a little bit more life to it. But can you imagine a squad of those just like rushing up the board? And of course, you have to give them some. Like, I'd be even happy to have them as a fast attack. Of course, they'd have to be cheap in points, but just have like a squad of them just like marching up the board with an orc boy. Like, even better still, like you got an orc boy with like two massive great chains, like holding like maybe, let's say, I don't know, 6, 8 of them. And then just like got that ability just to let go and just like, get 'em, boys. Yeah, love it. That is absolutely a really, really cool idea. Didn't Forge World done squigs at one point, didn't they? What happened to them? Because I can remember that like years ago that I had one. Whether it's come off Sign Chaos, I can't remember why I would actually have it for. Let's have a look. Can anyone think what that would have been? Here we go. So this is like, we've got to have a little look at this because this will be interesting. English, please. Of course, but has it been that long since it's been on the Forge World stuff? And it was interesting to see that a lot. Someone was posting up the other day on the amount of models that have actually started to disappear off from the Forge World stuff. I still want the grot tanks. They're not great. They're like, don't get me wrong, they're not going to win you tournaments or anything like that. But they just look super, super bloody cool. Yeah, in the orc stuff, there's no squigs are no longer on the menu. That's a shame. That is a shame, because if they would have been there, I would have got some. And I don't. And fluff wise, squigs are really, they are used quite a lot, aren't they? In the fluff wise for orcs. So you'd expect to see, squigs out there. Not much, my wolf brother. I've been smashing out progress on my killer tanks. Keen to get them on the tabletop. Hey, Frost and Fist, welcome. I'm guessing that is Memphis on there. Thanks for joining us. Really do appreciate it, my friend. And what we got? The Competitive Dad. I just wanted to say, I could make Squigs as a new troop choice. I've already read that one, haven't I? Look, we've got Games Workshop announced a couple of weeks ago. You've got the Orc Boys riding Squigs. Let's hope and pray that because they're meant to be fantasy, and let's hope they bring those fantasy ones over to 9th edition for 40k, because I think that'd be so epic. Can you imagine that? So you've got a squad of Orc Boys on bikes, and then you've got a squad of Orc Boys riding massive great Squigs. I just think that would look so cool and so friggin' epic on the tabletop. It'd be like, yeah, I would love to see that happen. That'd be really, really cool. See what we can come up with. That would be really, really friggin' cool. And I think, what else were we going to talk about? So Tau. So this is interesting. So Will is going to make me. So I took a list with. Sorry, I took a Tau list from the last Scotch tournament up in 8th edition, and it was the broadsides with all the missile pods, shield drones, and just like max them out to the best you know. So you maxing out the amount of numbers you can get in there, and the amount of shots and firepower in it. It's interesting to see what other people think about Tau. Whether everyone still thinks that Tau are not a good army to take in 9th edition, or whether the fact that you can make those Tau even better than what they are. Because like with Tau, like the list that I'm going to have to get these models myself and start painting them up, so we've got them for the channel. But this list that for 8th edition was so strong that the fact that anything on the tabletop they could just pretty much annihilate turn 2, maybe turn 3, everything's completely gone. And like going into this edition, I was kind of thinking like a couple of weeks ago, I was like, wow, if I had that if I took that for a tournament list, like in 9th edition, yeah, okay, they're going to be really bad in getting objectives, but you could pretty much annihilate anything off the board and then just get yourself into position to then start taking all the other stuff. That's my mindset in that anyway. But it'd be interesting to see what other people think of Tau. Here's one for yourself. What would you like to see on a battle report? In what 2 armies? If you could pit off 2 armies against each other, what would they be and why? That's a good one. I brought some orcs for my little boy and played the beat me the other day. Mega knobs really do kick Marines' butts. Yeah, look, they do. But I just find that the point-wise, they are quite expensive to get them onto the tabletop and make them work. And that's the only downside with them. Thinking about Space Wolves are really just Space Marines. The Space Wolves to me is pretty much just Chaos Space Marines, but just no one gave them the memo. I did start building and painting up a Space Wolves army, but I think as I started getting into it, I got really bored of the actual colour scheme, and I think it was just daunting the fact that I've still got to do troops, got to do HQs, and I just thought, yeah, maybe I should finish that army off, because they were looking really, really sweet, but just didn't really get any further from there. And that's pretty much it. So that is pretty much me for the live stream today. Unfortunately, it's not going to be a long one because I've got so much more I've got to get on with today. I've got to get this battle report edited. I've got to get the rest of this studio done. So at the moment, I've got this part done. I've got that part done in the studio. That's all done. So I've just got to get the last part done, which is behind camera. So at the moment, I'm just not happy with the way that looks. So I've just got to sort that part out. So then when I am filming, I've got a little bit of flexibility on where I can just change it up a little bit and go like, yeah, do you know what? I'm going to have the camera facing that way today. But it takes a little bit of work, and I've got to get there at some point. So if there's any questions, oh, by the way, if you haven't already, check out our website, twisteddice.co.uk. If you haven't already, go over and check it out. There's going to be loads and loads of things coming up, and we have got let me show you this, because this is cool. This is really, really cool. Where are you? So I nearly forgot this. it's only taken us like 3 years to get printed objective markers. It's bonkers, right? But we got these the other day from our good buddy James, and he's printed these out. These will be going up at the moment. I've only got 10 sets of these. So at the moment I have offered them for the Twisted Dice team members first of all. So all the guys that are part of the Twisted Dice team, they've got first dibs on them. But we will be putting some of these up, or as soon as I get more stock of these in, there will be some of these going up on our website Friday as well. So we've got some of these. We're going to have some Twisted Dice as well. We're going to get some of the ones that are engraved. I'm just waiting for a design to come through on them. So if that is an interest to yourself, keep an eye on Friday, because these will be going up, and they are so cool. And I've got 2 versions. I don't have the other ones to hand at the moment because they are stashed away underneath the table. But I've got the ones that look like a nice sharp Twisted Dice logo, and the other one is really cool. It's got like it's like a worn effect, so it's like the logo itself is quite worn on the actual thing itself. So yeah, I was super cool, super chuffed with that. And we've been playing on these last night, so you'll be able to see them on the battle report. And the battle mat we was using was the one that we gave away for the Twisted Dice 10,000 subs giveaway. But we've got 2 of those mats ourselves, and they look so damn cool on the battlefield like that. And for me, I've always played with the objectives before. I'd always have the objective in the middle and then just measured up to it, but that just made it so much easier. You just knew that if it was touching this or on this, you knew that they were going to be scoring the objective for it. So yeah, they make a big difference, and they're really fun to play on the thing. So what we got on there? You're welcome, Fitz. You're welcome. Just keep an eye on my friend, because I will be posting out quite a few videos on the Orc stuff. And we'll be going through like tactical wise and how I play the Orcs. You know, there will be. Everyone has their own opinion and their own thoughts upon Orcs. So long as you keep it with an open mind on the way I play, there may be. Look, I promise you, I have got some. I do know how to play Orcs a little bit, and most of the time when I play Orcs, I don't. It's rare that I do lose with them. Look, I'm not saying that I'm like super like brilliant on Orcs. I know there's so many other better players out there with Orcs. I'm just saying that the list that I've been playing with the Orcs, they're just so damn cool. The list might work for yourself, it might not. With anything, it's interesting because when you see people have lists up on the internet, and I've been to tournaments where people will take like the new hotness, and they're going to take all the super lists that because they've seen such and such play this list at the LVO, and it's won X amount of tournaments. If you don't know how to play the list, it's sometimes that can be a bit of a hindrance for yourself. So watch the reports, and hopefully there'll be some insight on how to play the list that I've got on there. Anyway, listen, I'm going to love and leave you, so thank you so much for tuning in. Necron report, Craig, will be coming ASAP. I'm just waiting for Mikey to come back in the studio, because unfortunately, I said we did record a battle report 2-3 nights ago, Thursday night, and we started about 8 o'clock, and we started recording about 8. We didn't finish recording until about 3 o'clock in the morning. And as I said, unfortunately, because of the camera being in 4K, look, I'm going to be honest, I was trying to be cocky, and what I was trying to do was trying to record the battle reports in 4K. I was just like trying to get to that next level, and just like really pumping out some high quality battle reports, and some like, just trying to, really go to that next level. But unfortunately, my Mac just like, yeah, mate, I think it's time you need to put your hand in your pocket and start looking to get a new Mac. But just at the moment, we can't afford it. But maybe like 2-3 years down the line, we'll relook at that and try to do 4K. But at the moment, realistically, everyone really watches battle reports anyway in 720 or 1080, so it doesn't really matter. I think it's more myself that I wanted to do a 4K battle report, but never mind. I'll get Mikey back on the channel, and we'll record another. We'll record another battle report with the Necrons. And I don't know if you saw the pictures that I posted up the other day on our Facebook group, but we had some like really cool smoke effects with the smoke coming in off the train, all the green lights like really highlighting and making those army, the Necron army pop. I was like, yeah, man, this is absolutely friggin' awesome, and they just work so damn well. But yeah, look, that's it. Anyway, I better crack on. I'm going to be on next Sunday, so if you're about, come join us. It'd be really, really appreciated. And stay tuned for Friday, because we're going to have the battle report. This Monday, I'm going to be putting up a video on. It's either going to be one or two things. I'm going to do either another speed painting video, or I'm going to be doing a review upon airbrushes. So I've now got like a small little collection going on with the airbrushes. So either this week or next week, I'll be doing that review on the airbrushes. I'll be taking you through why certain things need to be good and what things to avoid. But yeah, hopefully you will enjoy that, because there'll be a lot of information on that side as well. Anyway, if there's no questions, I'm going to love and leave you. And I'm going to see you, hopefully speak to you, some of you lot on chat on Friday with the battle report. If not, hopefully catch me again next Sunday. And then we'll go from there. And if I get a chance, I will maybe do a stream midweek as well. Maybe try to get a guest on with me as well. But if I do, I'll post up on the Facebook group, and I'll let people know